Hey there, welcome to day 1360 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting the journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. In 2017, I, as part of my divorce, had the opportunity to decide what I wanted to do next. And I decided I didn't want to do anything I'd been doing in the offline world. I'd always been curious about the online world. I was going to come online and I was going to duplicate my offline success in the online world. Haven't completed that yet, thus the 1,360 days documenting my journey and sharing my experiences here. And I don't know, maybe after I'm done achieving the same level of success, I will stop documenting every day. But for right now, it feels like the right thing to do. It feels like sharing my journey so that other people can learn from the stuff I screw up on and duplicate the stuff that actually works and not spend time and energy on the things that don't work. Because just like in the offline world, although I didn't get distracted as much in the offline world as I seem to get in the online world, there are so many different roads we can go down. There are so many different paths we can take. And I think it's because there's so much more noise and in your face and such a lower barrier to entry in the online world that it's easy to get distracted and think we have to know another thing and another thing and another thing, and we have to find another bell and whistle and add another thing and figure out a certain type of funnel or figure out a webinar or figure out a course or a coaching program or take someone else's coaching program or a different launch strategy, or on and on and on it goes. And new tools and things are coming along all the time. Different social media platforms, different strategies. But it's not about a strategy. It's about being yourself and then sharing that with the world in the way that's right for you and the way that's right for me. And it's different for each of us, right? So we can learn things from other people, but until we figure out what really feels right and works for us, we struggle. And we keep trying different things until we feel what feels like home for us. So I'm still in the learning phases, not going to pretend I'm not, of figuring out and feeling what is right for me. And I've done a lot of the things, I've done all the things I mentioned and many, many more, but those are just some of the things off the top of my head. So right now I'm focusing on adding value, sharing information, creating content, and things like that because it feels good to me. And I am in a transition period in my personal life, so it's a way to keep moving forward with respect to my business and my online businesses without beating myself because I haven't done things I feel like I should have done already, if that makes sense. If you can relate, let me know in the comments below, because I know I'm not the only one that feels like I should be doing different things than I'm actually doing some days. So what am I doing with respect to content? We are in the final third of the 9th, actually, free 30-plus day Get Up and Go Challenge. We're doing the Get Up and Go Challenge, and in that, I share a framework called the SOAP framework that helps people to install in their subconscious, a process that guarantees they will have better results after any change or challenge or obstacle or problem that they're faced with than before, and that they'll have a better result than if they didn't have a framework that they were using that guaranteed they'd have a better result. So we go through the SOAP framework. We cover all 9 areas and aspects of our life. And again, different gurus, different guides, different wise people, much wiser than me, made up different categories and how we categorize and separate different areas of our life. Really, we're all one whole being, one human being. But it helps us consciously to think of different areas and aspects of our life, set goals and objectives, and have plans and activities and habits for the different areas and aspects of our life. And different people define them differently. I just got involved with a coaching program that has a life wheel that's got 12 different areas and aspects of our life. The one I use normally and have used for decades is 7. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution. And then this year in April, I started doing work in the areas of communication and confidence. Since I think those are foundational things, I set goals and objectives, long-term goals and objectives for myself in those 2 areas. So I thought if I'm doing them, I might as well add them to the Get Up and Go Challenge. So we cover them with respect to the SOAP framework in case the people that are doing the SOAP or the Get Up and Go Challenge would like to increase their confidence or increase their ability to communicate. So today was about relationships. We're covering physical, financial, we already did the SOAP framework for physical, one a day, SOAP. Physical, financial, and relationships we do it for, because those are the three big areas that impact most people. In any area and aspect of our life, if you ask somebody right now, if you were to ask 100 people, what is their biggest challenge? I would guess that 99 to 100% of the people that you ask would say it's something that's in one of those three areas or aspects of their life that's giving them the biggest challenge or concern right now. Now, the other areas and aspects of our life, of course, if we ignore any of them too long, they will get our attention. If we ignore any area or aspect of our beingness for too long, something will happen for it to get our attention. At least that's been my experience. So today was all about relationships and our options with respect to relationships. So we covered visualization and imagination, and I gave 7 tips for beginning visualizers or beginning visualization. Because visualization is one of those things that I told myself I struggled with and I wasn't good at and I couldn't do. Which, whenever we tell ourselves we're not good at something, we struggle with it, or we can't do it, or we're not good at it, guess what? We're not good at it. It's a challenge for us. We struggle with it. We have a hard time. But if we understand, like anything else, it's a process and we can learn it and we can get better and better and better at it. And the truth is, we all do it already. Our human brains work in pictures. Our brains don't function in words and communication. That's something we learn much older. I'm living with my granddaughter, and she is 8 months old now, and it's been fun to watch her progress. Now she's at the screaming sounds, and she can say kind of da 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 da. And it sounds like she says some words sometimes, but it might be our imagination. But she understands and she knows what many, many things are, even though she can't say what the name of them is. She thinks in pictures. So if she wants a bottle, she already has a picture of a bottle in her mind, even though she has no idea what the word bottle means, right? Even though we've probably said it to her hundreds of times. Or milk. So we're trying to teach her some sign language, which I think she's got milk, but it's hard to know what the different ones are, what she understands yet are. But by a year old, I guess little kids can sign, so we've been playing with that with her. All done. That's my favorite. All done. I'm all done. Excuse me. So I added those areas. So today we're talking about relationships and the options that are available. Visualization, imagination. Again, we can always already do it. For Supersize Your Business, our idiom today with respect to time, I'm doing time for the month of October, was call it a day. And we talked about, came from 1838. It's been around a long time. And it originally meant, stop working or stop doing something that you've been doing for a while. Or stop doing something early. It originally meant leaving work after like half a day or only half a day. And it morphed into, it can mean, if we say I'm going to call it a day or a night, it means I'm done, I'm going home, I'm quitting being out, I'm quitting working today. It can mean I'm taking a break, I'm going to go home and sleep, I'll be back tomorrow. It might be a big job and we decide, or a project that you just decide you're going to take a break from or look at different possibilities, or it can mean you're just going to quit altogether and not do it ever again, right? Sometimes we quit bad habits. I quit the bad habit of drinking Diet Pop and too much coffee every day. Now I went back to drinking coffee. Ooh, after 5 years, I still spill it almost every day. But we can choose, and it mostly has to do with choice and personal responsibility, how we define when we're going to call it a day and what quitting is to us was the discussion. Our annual challenge to do one thing every day that centers us and get to know ourselves better and do internal personal development work in a mindfulness journal called Do One Thing Every Day That Centers You was about love, the people we love and the people that love us. So that was a good one. It's always a good one. So those are the 3 main pieces of content I'm working on. I always love it when I'm doing the Get Up and Go Challenge because I do it right along with the people I'm sharing it with. And so I'm actually working on my relationship with my mom. There's always a lot of stories in our relationships with different people, especially people in our family and people close to us. And it's just a relationship that I've kind of let, not slide, but I haven't given it the attention that it deserves for how much I love my mom. And so I want to change that going forward. So as I go through the challenge, I'm working on that. Today, I will be brainstorming just like everybody else. and coming up using my imagination and visualization to get me from where I am with that relationship to where I really want it to be. Different options, different possibilities. I've already got a couple of ideas, so I will be working on that along with everyone else. Anything I can help you with, any questions you have in either the offline, brick and mortar, real business world. I spent 48 years in different businesses in 27 or more different industries offline, while simultaneously working in corporate America for over a quarter century before I came online in 2017. So if there's any questions about that, I help people nowadays go from either offline to online or adding an online component to their existing business, because I believe at this point, everyone, and after COVID-19 for sure, everybody ought to have some kind of an online presence. And we could get into the whole belief. I also believe that every human being, every individual should have their own career path, their own brand, be their own business, because the world has changed so much and we can't plan on going to work for a corporation and working there, or going to work for a business or having a career that's going to last our lifetime. There's no guarantee of that. There's no guarantee of anything. So if you have any questions, ask. If you don't have anybody to ask, don't feel bad. Been there, done that, and wished I had someone to ask. So I clearly expect people to take me up on the offer when I say, because I won't be able to offer that forever, but right now I can. My life is working in a way that's in a time period where I have little blocks of time where I can stop and I can answer questions. And I want to be able to do that. I want to be a resource for people that think they don't have a resource, and to make sure that you don't get stuck, because I know how that feels and how hard that is when you just have one little question or one little idea that is holding you back from doing what's next. And if you just had someone to talk to or ask, you could get over that hurdle and move forward and get your momentum and your progress going again. And so I want to be that resource for the people that I can be that for, the people that are willing to ask. Because guess what? Most people won't ask. Most people will just stay stuck and make excuses for why they're stuck. And so I want to take away all the excuses of being stuck by saying, hey, ask. There's incredible power to asking. I learned this from a gentleman when I first came online. Actually, before I even came online, I learned it from him. But soon after I came online, he passed away. So I will forever remember him for reminding me to ask. If you don't ask, the answer is always no, right? All right. Have a great day. If I can help you in any way, please ask. Otherwise, be with you tomorrow.